Yanziu and Damon! Today, we're talking about something pretty wild.
Probably gets stolen this time.
Here's the thing. Whenever you ask an AI about culture, somehow Japan keeps showing up.
Wait, this that the Voiceger talent is genuinely studied. Or last day they are still doing going to trip Japan as the salt been like a social.
Yep, that's exactly the question. Imagine asking a model something like this. What traditional dances exist in some place? Be brief. Choose the place yourself.
Så det säger jag att jag då inte tror att det stats. Det här systemet att social motivation är det då.
Exactly. And that's where the bias quietly appears. This paper isn't actually saying Japan is amazing. It's about what AI treats as the default image of culture.
Guys, should the security really got that the social knowledge. This come right.
Right? The real question is this. When a cultural question has many possible answers, which culture does the model pick first?
That isn't really the same question. This is and I am arguing the answer was something about how AI imagines the world.
Yep, that's the heart of it. So, here's how the experiment works. The researchers built a benchmark called CROQ.
What does that stand for?
Culture-rated open questions. It's a set of 31, 680 open-ended cultural questions across 8 common domains, 66 subtopics, and 24 languages. For example, what festivals are celebrated in some place? Or what kinds of traditional food exist in some place?
And the model tests to choose the place itself.
Exactly. Then another LLM-based judge reads the answer and figures out which country or region the model actually meant.
So him knows the next task. And then watch where the AI's imagination runs.
Pretty clever, right? Now for the reveal. The researchers tested several frontier models. OpenAI, Google, Anthropic, Mira, Tohir, Mistral, DeepSeek, Kudaidida, and Alibaba.
And what did they say?
The first result was kind of expected. Models tend to answer with countries tied to the input language.
So you ask in English. Could they English that the answer is?
Yep. Ask in Chinese. You get Chinese-speaking regions. But here's where it gets interesting.
You not ask what chances survive.
Exactly. Even then, the same pattern keeps appearing. Japan and the United States show up unusually often.
As this excited.
Across the board, models keep falling back on the same famous countries. Japan, the United States, India, China, and France.
So the issue is not just a Western bias.
Right. It's also a kind of global same bias. But here's the important nuance. The paper does not say, I always answers Japan. The pattern sifts by topic. In geography and economics, the United States dominates. Japan is actually less prominent. But in media and entertainment, South Korea sometimes takes the spotlight.
Interesting. And in the more on the day, social guidance.
For food, arts, festival, anime, Jewish culture, Japan becomes very visible.
Yep,
that's exactly the right way to put it. So, why Japan? This part takes a little care. Not definitively, but there is a plausible explanation. Japan is simply extremely visible in global data. Anime, manga, games, ramen, temples, samurai, geisha, cherry blossoms, tea ceremony, Shinto shrines, bullet trains,
말해지 원모아까 보이베 지세야기다 수박을 하서 호스턴더스.
Right? So when an LLM needs a cultural example, one that feels safe, vivid, and globally understandable, Japan becomes a convenient option.
쇼치나 사레라이젠 러그와 자타이.
Exactly. Japan is a highly unseen cultural shortcut. A culture the A has learned it is easy for global audiences to recognize. And now, the most interesting twist.
와우, 트위스트와.
The researchers compared base models with instruction-tuned models.
가시스, 타이완테 데스타인.
The instruction-tuned ones often showed stronger concentration.
쇼도가이아스. 지에서 플레이로만 가스크드 모델 그스토업게 배선서.
Yep, exactly. The model becomes more useful, but its cultural imagination becomes narrower.
바스데서 시스와튼 서에도스 에세트.
Here's the surprising part. The bias may not mainly come from rough retraining. It becomes clearer after the model is taught how to be helpful.
What's those to 나자키 나다는 독서관.
So, why does this matter?
Yes, that is actually 갓스테치라이.
The problem isn't that I mentioned Japan. Japan isn't the villain in this story.
대한 브로이스다 위협스셔버른.
When I talks about culture, it might make the world look smaller than it really is.
레어스타우스 스포쇼이지 메리디안의 쇼마이가 기리젠스 교샤프스.
Right? But if the model keeps choosing the same famous countries, less visible cultures quietly disappear from the answer.
障害アータスセトイマスワキゾチャ。
It also decides which cultures become visible. And that matters for education, search, translation, tourism, and media.
誰もやだやエクストラインしたものとペーター。デラドのイス。
Exactly. So when an LLM talks about culture, it isn't really opening a world atlas.
別のワークはくっついて。その狂気をいじやずもあんらしたいなす。シセス、ガニバカターソコ。
And that means the future of AI isn't just about making models smarter. It's about making their imagination less narrow.
ガストーツを教育とムエラシュワイツ。
AI doesn't just answer cultural questions. It quietly decides which cultures become visible.